Welcome to the Hilltop Glove Podcast.
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 Hello and welcome to the Hilltop Glove Podcast. Today we are thrilled to have the talented Konate Hendricks with us today. Konate is a creative powerhouse known for his work in filmmaking and podcasting. He is a writer, director, and producer of several short films, each of which has captivated audiences with its unique storytelling and compelling characters. One of his most recent works, Blood of the Land, is set in 1873 and follows the struggles of freed people in Jubilee Parish as they are being displaced by white men. Konate is also the co-host of the Black Summit podcast, where he and his partner Brooks tackle current events and discuss the hardships faced by the Black community. Through their podcast, they shed light on important issues and offer a platform for meaningful conversations. We are honored to have Konate join us today, and we cannot wait to hear some more about his creative journey and inspiration behind his outstanding work. So sit back, relax, and let's jump right into this conversation. Thank you for joining us today. How are you doing, brother man?
Man, I am blessed, and thank you for having me. I'm humbled, and thank you for that intro. I'd like to meet that guy. You make me sound
Tamaya, go ahead.
Thank you, Tamaya. I appreciate it.
I watched the film, so I liked it, Blood of the Land. I was like, okay, this is in Charleston. I like it.
Thank you so
much.
Thing. Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
Mm-hmm.
So we always like to start off by giving our audience, because our podcast, From Millennials Learning How to Adult, we like to treat this almost as a digital Rolodex. So they need to know a little bit about who they're about to call before they make the call, right? Mm-hmm. So could you just tell our audience a little bit more about yourself, what your childhood was like?
Okay, yeah. My childhood was, pretty interesting. Growing up, two sisters and only male. Falls on my mother's side. My father, had other sons, but, born in Baltimore, Maryland, moved to Charleston when I was real little. So I raised Charleston. So I'm Geechee.
Hey.
As they say, you.
Let me hear the Geechee talk.
You want to hear the Geechee? You want to hear the Geechee?
Bring it out.
Hear it
I
already.
gotta bring it out. They say
I want to hear you talk Geechee because I come to talk too, and people don't understand what I be saying.
What they saying? Hey, you know that saying? They say either you a Kamya or you a Benya.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I consider myself a Benya. Only thing that says Baltimore is my birth certificate. Other than that, Charleston born and bred, So
Understood.
I grew up eating fish and grits and all that good stuff. So growing up, humble beginnings. Was in the military. Went in the military after high school.
What branch?
Army.
Okay.
Was in the Army. Yeah, went in the Army, and then later on went to school for business. And I was going back to school again. Actually, I was going to go into pharmaceutical. My mother's a nurse. She wanted all of us to go into the medical field because, medical is recession-proof. Whatever happens, you always going to need it, right?
Yep.
But whatever happened, I guess, it didn't work in the cards because I was an engineer in the military. And just so I ended up going to school for business. So when I went back again for another degree, it just so happens with the medical field, they only allowed 24 in the pharmaceutical program, 24 a year. So the government is paying for me to go to school once again.
Yep.
So therefore, they was like, well, either you wait in order to get your stipend or you can change your major. And my next thing I like, because I'm very creative, was film. So that's how I came back into film, and got heavy and dive into the film industry. And and I look at it as a business as well, because there's show business. It
is a business.
So I look at it like that. So that's how I became into film. And in '09, did some stuff with Army Wives, and there was another show was being filmed here. Was Reckless and the Inspectors.
Right.
So
a lot of stuff down here, man. This is a good spot for it.
Yeah, few things like that, and I did a couple of commercials with Dominion Energy and MUSC. Did some special effects on that, and then also I worked when Top Chef came.
Yeah.
So I worked on Top Chef for when he was here for almost the entire season of that, and then some other independent projects and things like that. DP to Porgy and Bess. Are you familiar with Lauren Douglas Warren?
No.
She's out of Columbia, worked with ETV. Indie Grits.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
With Sherrod.
Yeah.
No, because when he said, I understood who he was talking about.
Yeah. So I DP'd her project for a while, and then then getting into my own bag and doing some short films and things like that with some of my alums who we all graduated from film school together.
Okay.
So, and that's my crew who I normally work with, because we all, like they say, it's a film family.
You're right.
So, and these are people we would, 10, 12 hours a day. So I'm comfortable with them, they comfortable with me. So, we'll work with our same crew, and then I develop Ivy League Films, which is my film production. With, as you said earlier, a couple of short films I did, and we got a few accolades for some of the films that we did. So yeah, and and here I am today.
Hey man, well, of course, what you're talking about, your creative journey. What influenced you growing up when it comes to your creative work?
Well, I know this may sound cliche, but they always says art imitates life, right? So and I like to tell stories. Well, first, when I was young, I used to draw, which I still can, and granted, your parents, they're going to encourage you, even though it looks like crap. Put on, But as I got older, I got better and better, and I was always real good at art,
Yeah.
And for me, like art imitates life. To me, when I'm doing a film, it's just like I'm painting a picture with people, because if I can't see it in my head, then I can't do it. So I have to be able to see it. So when I block out actors, it's just like I'm literally creating living art.
Yes,
that's how I.
Yes.
That's
beautiful.
That's my motivation. So that's how I am. That's how I think. You know what I mean? So like if I'm on a set, like if I'm working with you guys and I'm doing, I may just literally zone out for a minute.
Right.
But I'm seeing the
moving things
whole
around,
thing.
yeah.
Then I say, okay, let me get you here. I need you here, and I want you guys to do this, and then we can tweak it and fine tune it if need be. So that's pretty much my process. Yeah.
That kind of goes right into our next question, though. Like, as a producer, you're responsible for like behind the scenes aspects of production compared to like the director when you get to do the creative element. So like, which role do you like more than the other, producing or directing?
Good question.
Oh, that is a very good question. To be honest with you, I really like directing more, and I'll tell you why. When I first came into film, I was in front of the camera. I took acting classes. I did South of Broadway, and then my degree, there's a class called the Camera and Actor, and I took that as well. But when I came into school to learn more about film, because like I said, I have stories and I wanted to create, and so I wanted to learn about the, how things work behind the camera. Now, granted, I saw Army Wives, but I didn't get a lot of the technical aspect of it, because, we setting up scenes, we move on quick, so you don't see what everyone does, right?
Big productions, there's a lot of moving parts.
Huge production, you know what I mean? So when I went to film school, I wanted to create my own, and I figured the reason with directing, the main reason why I went that route is because not only myself, I can help others. If I create something and people want to act, and if they're not getting all the roles, at least they can have a reel. They can, they don't have to stay in one particular genre of film. They can exercise their range and what have you, and so that way I can help others as well. That's why I prefer the directing more.
You're making the calls.
Right, exactly, yeah. So that's why I prefer the directing over the producing, you know what I mean? But I'm not saying I don't like producing either, but,
It's not shut down to producing either. Producing is amazing. You got to have producers.
Yes.
You understand that?
Yeah, you got to have
necessary
producers.
part.
You have to have producers.
So as a producer, like, what are some hardships that you face, like producing your own films? Like, scheduling, or is it finding locations, booking cast members?
Ooh, man, that is another good question.
If nobody has ever worked on a film, it is ridiculous how many people it takes. Even if it's just a handful of people doing it, then everybody's got to do like 50 jobs.
50 jobs, man. It's like, and actually I'll answer it in two parts if I
Not
may.
a problem. Yeah.
The first, just to give you a brief. Have you y'all heard of master classes?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm watching them now.
Yeah. So I've watched the one, Scorsese, one of my favorite directors. Of course, you got the Spike Lees, the Antoine Fuquas, and James Camerons. So I remember watching Spike Lee's when he did She's Gotta Have It.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was outside of Hollywood. And he pretty much was saying that it's impossible. It's almost impossible, but it is possible to make a film outside of Hollywood.
Right. Mm-hmm.
When you're independent, you're the producer, you're the director. You know, sometimes you're the writer, you're the craft service, you're the PA. Sometimes you might even have to do like me, because I cut hair too. Sometimes I got to be the barber. I got to be on set. So you
cut hair too?
Yeah, I cut. Yeah. So I cut hair too. So with that aspect, what you said about far as how hard is it with producing, for example, when I did Blood of the Land, we started that project in 2016 from its infancy, and we didn't finish till 2020 because I was trying to get funding, and we had all type of campaigns and things like that. So, and I did a short film previous, right? And I produced that, which I had a couple of EPs who just put up money, but for the most part, with EPs, executive producer, but for the most part, I did most of the producing and everything myself. So with Blood of the Land being a time period piece, I know it's going to be even harder to do, right? Yeah. So what I did was, my crew, if I may, I shout their names out. Theron Hamilton, he's my DP. Yeah. And Tanjanika Green, who's normally she normally be my AD on project. So I brought them in as producers to help me along the lines of getting certain things and, and facilitating certain things. Stuff like that. Now, we ran into a lot of problems. We had to reschedule shoots and things like that. But it is hard in the sense of just getting people where they need to be. There's certain parts of the film, certain components where it's very trying to keep it as authentic as possible, right? So I don't know if you saw the film. There's a part with the blacksmith. So although this movie's set in 1800, everything he made and everything he brought is from 1800s. But he would come all the way from Charlotte, because that's how committed he was to do the film. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And just to use locations, right? Going out. In the latter part of the film production, I finally got a locations manager to help me out. So going out, talking to people, and people letting us use their properties for free, right? And some people end up reshooting, and some people cancel. So we shot all over in rural South Carolina. Wow. And then the thing is, when you're doing these things, so because sometimes actors can't make it, or locations, something have a location. So I found myself being like a politician. I had to apologize so much to people and reschedule for certain things, man. But to be honest with you, it is hard. But the hardest thing is, I would say, doing both, directing and producing what I was doing. Even though I had producers, but still everything still pointed to me.
Everything.
Right.
Everything still, each department, hair, makeup, wardrobe, and all of the wardrobe I bought out my own pocket. Everything you see, and I paid for all that out of my own pocket.
Well, so did you have to? All right, gosh, stop there. Wait one second. Good Lord Jesus.
Get you some funding.
Yeah, man. Wait. Yeah. So, because I know how expensive wardrobing can be, and this is a period.
Just fabric. I've started sewing lately. Fabric is expensive.
See what I'm saying? And this is a period piece. So, who was making this stuff?
Well, luckily, I had another female I met when I did Top Chef. She wanted to be a costume and work in wardrobe, even though she works in finance. It's still on some productions to this day. Crystal Neesmith, I'll shout her out too.
Shout out.
So, but I got her. It's like the men's stuff I can do, And what I did was I went to thrift stores, Salvation Army, and Goodwill, and I was able to find some old things, but the women's stuff I needed help, so I had her come on board and sent her a lot of images of what I was looking for, and then lucky there was this consignment place that dealt with old costumes right off of Rivers Avenue, and we found that spot, and I was able to find the main characters, the mother, the daughter. Find their costumes and their outfits, and then even back then the women would always wear headscarves. Yeah. So Crystal, when she was helping me get the women wardrobe straight, and she even went a step further. Well, we got to go to Walmart. I'm like, why we got to Walmart? Because we got to get fabric. She literally found fabric to cut out, to tie the scarves, to match everything. And back then, even the smallest details, like men we say shirts, women say blouse, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Nowadays, their shirts have collars. But back then, they didn't.
They didn't.
So she even went as far as cutting out all the collars on that, which I didn't even think of, cutting all the collars out on the women's tops and everything to make it look real authentic. Yeah, so
People
That's
love
why I
their
had to
craft.
ask about the wardrobe.
The
'cause I
wardrobe,
know period piece
period
has to be
pieces.
on point.
But we did raise some funding.
Mm-hmm.
We did have a campaign. We had Kickstarter. We got a little bit of money. We used Indiegogo. We got a little bit of money. So then we went back and did what's the one when people donate money to help a
GoFundMe?
cause? GoFundMe.
Mm-hmm.
We did GoFundMe,
okay.
right? So what I did was I said we got to change the marketing strategy. So I realized that it's easier to get $5 from 100 people than to get $100 from one person, right?
Yeah.
So if you remember when the hurricane hit in Haiti,
Yeah.
remember when it was Red Cross? They say, hey, just and Bush and Clinton was saying, hey, just we don't want all, just give $4, just give $3.
Yeah, text to donate.
Yeah, text to
It's
donate.
2X,
You know, we're happy if we get 100 people to give $4 versus one person giving, you know what I mean? Because that's $400 versus one. So I said, you know what? Let's just ask everybody for $5. Just give $5, and then people started giving 20. 200, you know. So I would tell any filmmaker if you want to get funding, if you want to use, GoFundMe, ask for the minimum.
Small.
Yeah, and they will give more. They will give more.
Allow them.
So we raised a little over $3,000, and then some people gave
That's
some
good.
money, and some people were just so engulfed in the project that they wanted to see it come to fruition, and they were so dedicated to it. So. And we were very blessed in that aspect, man. And I told everybody I couldn't have done it without them.
Man, I like how forthcoming you are in giving out that respect. And
Yeah.
because I'll tell you, for a lot of folks that are listening to our podcast and that want to do these things or have had short forays into doing it, this part about raising funds is a big thing for
it's a
any
big
creative
thing.
endeavor. Man.
It's what everybody ends up talking about.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
Yeah.
And
How
so-
do we get money to do the things?
Boom.
Yeah.
Right?
Boom.
Because it's not like a business venture where I can be like, well, here's a
Right.
model that shows that there's a market for this. Like, you don't know if there's going to be a market for creative
No.
things.
You do not.
Or if you're going to see a return.
Right.
Right.
So
Especially
again,
short films.
Come on.
You don't see returns
No,
on short
I
films.
definitely want to do short films. That's why I made sure I was particular with these questions.
You questions.
So tell me how to do it.
Yeah.
I need the blueprint.
Yep.
My first time meeting him, I need to ask the right questions.
Yeah. And you
But,
asking the right questions too. Definitely.
How do you market your films once they're finished? So do you submit them to film festivals, or how do you go about that?
Okay. So before Blood of the Land, I did a film called Dirty Undercover, right?
Okay.
So that one is a cop drama. It's about a prostitute that dies and they're trying to solve it. So, that type of thing. So there used to be OtterBox. It was a platform that you submit your films.
I remember,
But
yes,
now
yeah.
it's Film Freeway, right? Because OtterBox is gone. It's Film Freeway now. So what I did was I submitted it to, and this all out of pocket because you got to pay. Few film
pay,
festivals
right?
are free, and then so I submitted it to about maybe 12 festivals or so, and we got in a couple in which we won some awards and a few, So we got in some. So that's normally the route I do with that particular film. That's what I did. And then I did a private. Well, I Trident, because that's my alum, a Trident film department. So then after that, what I did was they let me use the auditorium and things like that. So then what I did is I just, instead of making it be all about me, I got a few other people who had a few short films, and I just did a
smart.
showcase. So I had it set up.
Community.
We had, I had some crafties, set aside for people to come in, and I let everyone showcase their project and their film, and then mine was the feature at the end. So, and
That's
then we
good.
let them set up because I'm all about the community and
Yeah,
trying to help
yeah.
everyone as
Yeah.
a whole. Try
But
to
if you're
make
going to
it.
bring that many people together, you might as well give them a little bit
Exactly.
of what's going on.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what I did with that film, and then later on, I had it. It was on Amazon Prime for a while, so everyone could see it on Prime. And then I just recently, maybe about last year, so I took it off. With Blood of the Land, I did the same thing. I did, of course, the pandemic hit soon as we finished, right?
Right on
with
the
that,
money.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
the
right there at the
pandemic.
beginning,
Soon as
yeah.
we got done, the pandemic hit, and finished editing in the studio, doing voiceover with actors, everything. Pandemic shut it down, so we had a sort of a bit of a pushback on that. But then later on in 21, we did get a chance to submit it to some festivals. The Charlotte Black Film Festival, we became semifinalists. The Afro South Film Festival that Lauren Douglas them started. Last year was their first one. We got the Viewers' Choice Award in that one. Oh wow! And then in Atlanta as well. I believe it's called the Starlight Film Festival, I believe. So we won an award in that one. And then I did private showings with that film. But this one, I haven't put it on any other platforms. I haven't, I just haven't decided to put it on any other platform. Sometimes if people want to see it, I'll send them the link and they'll watch it. But I just haven't decided to do anything with it because I'm kind of.
Okay, yeah. What's the reason for it? Why are you?
Because I don't have ADD. It is kind of once I do a project and I'm on it for so long, I don't really want to see it no more.
Oh yes,
I just want to go into something else.
It's like being a cook. You're cooking food all day in the kitchen. When I don't want nothing to eat. I've been around food all day.
Exactly, been around all day, right?
You got to find somebody to hand it off to. Then take it, run.
So and now some people want to see it, and I'm like, I just shoot them a link, and I'm like, I'm good. So I just want to kind of. Segue into something else. I kind of seen it, so I just don't really, fool up with it too much.
That's wild, man. I had to ask this just because you were talking about the different platforms, and I know in this day and age, this is one platform that everybody likes to go to put their films on, as you might already know, called Tubi. Okay.
Yes.
So, what is your judgment or understanding of Tubi, and how could that be a tool that people who are making films could utilize?
Oh my God, y'all! You guys are awesome. You guys are actually hitting all the good questions.
We only got 45 minutes.
Dude, it's so funny you said that. Honestly, before I never watched Tubi.
Seriously,
I never used to watch Tubi because. On social media, it had such a bad stigma of terrible content, and I was like, I used to look at it and I laugh, and I even seen some known actors, and I'm like, why did they do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then people started asking me, hey man, will you put something on Tubi? And I was like, first I was like, nah. I was like, nah. And then they asked me, will I put Blood of the Land or Dirty Undercover? And then I went and looked at the format for Tubi. Tubi wanted to be 40 minutes and these are short, 25 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They want, and I know why, because their format, because they run commercials. So
there
that's
you go.
how they make the money. So, and I will say this, and then I talk to more people, network people, and I'm like, man, what about Tubi? And they might laugh, and then they always come back and say, now you gonna hear some Charleston. They'll come back and be like, hey, but you know what though? Hey, low key, Tubi the joint, boy.
Real talk.
I had a partner of mine say, yo man, hey, real talk, but hey, we be on that low Tubi now.
That's where Geeksy One. That's where they put their stuff at.
They do.
It's free, and if you like me, you looking at trying to cut every streaming service you can right now because they all jacking the price up and cutting what they producing anyway.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
So Tubi out there.
I don't want to. Because I know you have a question about what's up for the future. But I don't want to overstep. Maybe I'll wait until you.
We can wait. You can wait till you get there. I just had to ask you that question about Tubi because it led right into the stream. Yeah. So I had to ask about that because it's something that everybody always tells me. It's funny that you say this, and of course our audience will know this. Nah, they be saying, man, some of the movies be trash, bro. They be trash.
Well, yeah, but so was half of what was in Blockbuster.
This is my
Y'all
point.
remember? Like, every movie that came, Transmorphers, and all of that shit. But we watched it.
We watched them. Yeah, we took chances on them. We didn't even get previews on
Friday night, movie machines, and network television at 2 a.m. We watched garbage.
That's true.
It's fun.
So, I'm not angry at it. I'm telling you. I tell people all the time. Well, it's access, and it's a platform that can be used.
Facts.
Right.
It's just a tool.
It's just a tool.
So
it's
if
like
they pay an artist, then that's the thing.
That's the thing that matters. Are you paying artists? If you're paying, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. And like Jay-Z would say back in the day, well, if you don't like my song, just change the station.
Right.
So that's what you can do. That's what's so dope about Tubi.
And then if you utilize Tubi, you don't have to put out the same content.
That's right.
You can put out
content gold.
Exactly. Yeah. Facts.
So I have one more quick question before we move on. Can you talk about the realistic timeline with editing? So you said Blood of the Lamb took about 4 years to produce it. What about the editing process? Or do you do that, or do you have someone else to do that?
Man, the beautiful thing about Trident Tech, we learn everything from top to bottom.
Nice.
So almost everyone I work with, we can do almost everything ourselves.
So you would say there definitely is a value in doing like a proper kind of film school background kind of thing.
Yes, but you don't have to.
Right.
You don't.
You can always self-taught.
Yeah,
but
you can.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do that, I would say definitely utilize a lot of YouTube. Because at least you got people on. I tell people, if you don't have the money to go to school, definitely utilize a lot of YouTube. Because you can sit in a lecture all day long until you physically touch things.
Right.
Like I was telling, that's your brother, right?
Yeah.
I was telling him earlier, the beautiful thing about Trident, and it doesn't get the critically acclaimed because it's a 2-year technical college, but technically it's one of the best film schools on the southeast coast.
I know you
because you got SCAD, right?
Yep, right there.
But Trident has over $5 million worth of equipment.
Yep.
And day one, when we get there, you get a lab and you automatically touching equipment. Versus when you went to the Art Institute, they go on theory. You don't touch equipment until until your senior year.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was doing Porgy and Bess, and I needed lighting because I was the DP, and then I had to teach while I'm filming their stuff. I had to teach some people sound because the sound guy left. Yeah, I had to literally show them. Okay, matter of fact, Crystal, the one who did wardrobe, I had to show her. So I had to plug her in to do sound. The good thing we learn everything, right?
Right.
Wow. So they had to get some lighting equipment from me from the Art Institute. Well, they didn't even have proper. It wasn't film light. It was photography light. So you can't distinguish between, it's just soft light, like somewhat what you have here.
Yeah.
So there's no tungsten and there's no daylight. So you want to put a certain hue on certain skin. I won't light him the way I light you.
Exactly.
I won't light him, different texture, colors of skin. So I had to bounce light and things like that, and it was from the Art Institute, so they didn't have the proper film light.
Because they weren't doing what? Touching things.
They weren't touching
it.
it,
It was
right?
all theory.
And they go more on culinary and fashion photography.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
Which is totally different, too.
It's totally different. That's what they base on. But as you said, far as editing, I'll say this. I do some side work for nonprofits, right? I film a lot of things for them. So, I film some rural farms. That's one project. I shoot their conferences. I do interviews, which don't take long. So, it's like, if I'm shooting something and say it's going to be 5 minutes long, and we might be out there 6 hours. So you figure it's probably going to take about maybe 12, 14 hours just to edit that. I got to do that in pieces because you're going to see. I might shoot 6 hour worth of footage, but I got to cut it down to this. Right. So with the editing process, first things first, you got to get your clips. You got to sync up sound. So I'll sync up sound. I'll do color grading. I got to put graphics in there, their logos. I got to put titles for who's this and that. Then I'm gonna have to put some royalty-free music, video transitions, all that stuff. So the editing process, it's actually longer than the filming process.
Oh yes,
it's way longer.
That's where the grind really comes in.
That's where the grind really comes in.
You use your knowledge up front to get a product that you can then grind to.
Exactly.
So you're making your own, and this is why I always like to explain this with when it comes to film and audio. Is you're just creating a raw resource. Basically, this is like you excavating a diamond.
Yeah.
But it's not done yet. You got to clean the dirt off of it.
Still got to make it a rain.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, like raw gold. You got to, refine it. Melt it down.
First of all, get it out of the ore.
Exactly.
People are like, what?
Exactly.
Yeah, your gold's sitting in. You got to take it out of the ore. Yeah, refine it, get down to clean.
Exactly. And that's how one time when dealing with film, it's just like music industry. We run across our share of scammers, our share of people who going to say, oh, I only want it to be, no more about 4 minutes. But they want to pay you this. And they don't realize, okay, everything that comes what they want because I got a crew. Now, some things I can do myself. Yeah. But depends on what the magnitude of what they want. I have a crew.
Yeah.
Outside of us, any outside work, we get paid. Yeah. But if we're doing our own, because we come up together and we know we grinding, they won't charge me, I won't charge them. Yeah. But outside of that, and not saying we got to get paid a lot, but we have to be compensated some kind of way.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Otherwise, it's just other things get in front.
You got to get compensated.
Yeah, you got
for your work.
You got to get compensated for it. And then with all the professional equipment that we're bringing in and things like that. So I did one of my first gigs. I did some work for MUSC. I was filming there. They had a project about it's like an exercise showing people to put through dance. So I went to various locations, and the lady thought that she was like, okay, I shot one and they liked it. And she literally said, look here, I need you to shoot 9 more locations. I got about $200. And I looked at her. What? Luckily, my friend who brought me in, she was like, oh, no. He's not a little kid. He's a grown man. Because I looked around. She thought I was. She said, no. He done been in the military, everything. He's and she came to me. She had to apologize. She said, oh, I'm so sorry. She said, student. I thought because at that time I was more clean shaven.
Oh, she's thought you was a high school kid doing some yearbook work.
She tried to get me.
She tried to hustle.
Yeah, she tried to hustle me
for the low.
Yeah, for the low. Yeah, so they had to come back. And,
yes, we've all done those kind of jobs at some point.
Yeah, at some point.
Do you have like
locations
interns or anything? Do you have interns or anything to help you with any of this process?
At that time, no, because some jobs I can literally. Now, granted, I could use help. Like sometimes, if a student want to come, I'll let them, see what I do. I'll build the camera or whatever type of setup I'm going to do if I need lighting or something like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of things I can do myself. But sometimes I could bring somebody in to help them, or I'll let them run the audio for me or something like that. I'll let them mic up the people, whoever I'm interviewing. And 3-point lighting, it's basic lighting.
It's nothing
key light,
difficult.
fill light, and the backlight,
Yeah.
if need be, something like that. But for the most part, I can do something myself. But I've had people come with me. Like I hired a creative writer because one gig they want a creative writer. Now, granted, I write too. I could do it all myself because I write script. I could do it all myself.
Yeah. But sometimes it's easier not to change gears every 5 minutes.
So I just said, you know what? I'll hire somebody. I brought her in, and I use her to carry some of my bags. Hey, give me that lens. Let me get this.
There you go.
You know what I mean? I don't know. She don't know the difference between a prime and a zoom and a tele. So I just say, that lens right there. Give me that one. Yeah, the little one. Give me that.
Right.
So just a few things, but for the most part, I'm usually a one-man show. Yeah. Because if it's a smaller project, I can knock it out, no problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
You ready? That's that
Speaking
Charleston
of
right
shows,
there. That's that Charleston. Real quick. That's that Charleston right there. I ain't got that woman. I can do it all. No, I heard that so many times. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I probably can do it by myself. Go ahead.
But tell us about your podcast show, because we know you behind the camera. What is it like being in front of the camera?
Yeah.
How did you start your own podcast?
Okay, how the podcast got started. Well, Brooks, my co-host, he graduated from film school with me. I might have graduated maybe slightly before him or whatever, but remember I said I do a lot of things. So I'm a barber also.
Yeah.
So I cut his hair. And when I'm cutting his hair, you done heard of Shop Talk.
Yep.
So he's a little younger. So we may talk about anything between relationships to politics to religion.
Yep.
Or just anything, general topics. And we would talk, and I'd give my perspective because I'm older than him, from my perspective and my walks of life, and because he's from California. He his family from the South, but he raised up in California. He didn't raise up in the conservative South.
Yeah.
So difference of opinion. Sometimes agree to disagree, right? Mm-hmm. So he kept saying, "Hey man, we should do a podcast," and I was like, "I'm cutting him, feeding him, one after the other." And then and 2 weeks later he'd come back, cut, and we'd talk, and he would say it again, same thing. I'm feeding him up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he said it a third time. This time I'm paying attention. I'm like, okay, we can do it. He said it a fourth time. I said, all right, cool. And then, time went on. Maybe about a month later, he finally said, man, let's do it. And we shoot it right in the Foley room at Trident, that's where we get access to a lot of things. Yeah. In the studio, we shoot it right in there. And that's how it was birthed. We just went in there and first it was just straight audio.
Yeah.
Then we started doing 2 camera set up and things like that. But it's still in its infancy. Yeah. So we only been doing it for a couple of months. Not too long. When did you all
start it? What month did you start?
Oh man, we started.
Because we're in October right now.
You're on October. So we might have started maybe before May, maybe I want to say maybe February.
Oh,
something
wow.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't been doing it. We don't really have a whole lot of episodes. I think we may just got up to maybe either 400 or 500 subscribers. Or
That's
something
not
like
bad.
that.
That's good.
Great.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cool.
It's different
cool.
from.
It is different.
From
It is
film.
different.
It's
I mean, I
perspective.
like it, but me, I realize that I'm a person that. One reason why I love directing, I'm behind the camera.
I got you.
You
That's
know what I
what's
mean?
different.
I don't need the fame.
Yep.
I take the wealth, but I don't need the fame. You know what I'm saying? So, and I like it as if I wrote it, I direct, I produce it, and if I say you two act, they looking for you guys. They ain't looking at me. So you guys can get all that glory. I can just sit
You
back.
just sit back and tell the story.
Yeah, even though I made more money than you guys,
Yeah,
you still made money.
yeah, exactly.
But I can sit back, So with the podcast, and I started thinking, they had me thinking because we had a young lady on. They was talking about if we blew up, and I said, man, I don't know, man. If this blew up, I don't know how long I'll do this
Because you aren't used to being.
Yeah. I mean, I start off acting,
Yeah.
but then now since I'm behind the camera, I said, man, I don't know. I mean, I want it to be successful, but I don't know if I want it to be the point where I'm just like going around, hey man, we know, what I'm saying? I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that, you know?
That's going to hide.
Yeah,
Say it,
you know,
yeah,
'cause
seriously.
I'm just like, man.
I think this is something like we grew up with this generation of like, oh, when I make it, when I'm successful or whatever. Like that was just what we were taught on.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. We've been doing a podcast for a while. I don't see like what does blowing up look like?
That's a good question.
Like to me, it was when we call people and they're like, "Oh yeah, sure,
And they
I'll come on the
actually take it
podcast."
seriously.
Take it
Right.
That's what
No,
caught us off. That's
I
caught me
think
off guard.
I think it's when people see you out in the street and they're
Yeah.
scared to approach you. Like
yeah.
I'm on the same level as you. I'm don't put me on a pedestal, please. 'cause
Yes. Oh, please don't do that.
Yeah, treat me like
So
a regular
I
person.
imagine like what we're doing is basically like local radio level 20 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I
But
look
not
at
even
it.
has
drive
changed.
time, like middle of the day or middle of the evening.
Yeah, let's say,
Pretty
yeah, between 10 and 2. And
Some
is cool,
Some
but-
people, I mean, they actually have journalism background. Some people actually look at themselves as journalism work, and I guess it can be.
that's
but
what
if
I
you do
know
it
about
that way-
it.
I don't have journalists. I just
all.
I don't look at myself as like a journalist. I'm like him, like local radio type stuff
Yeah,
on our
yeah.
small scale. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
Now, how did you guys come up with the name?
Man, we had a few names and they didn't work. So we were trying to find something that refers to a form for talking, interacting with people. And then we went through different synonyms and stuff like that. And then Summit came up. And then I said, hey, we black, so.
Easy.
But yeah, but actually it was the Black Summit, but so we changed it to Black Summit because it's TBS, Turner Broadcasts Out. So that's why we had to go with Black Summit, just Black Summit.
That's
What I
smart.
mean?
That's smart.
Yeah, and it's just black because we black.
Yep.
That's on it. And we have
I like the
everybody
answer.
on
Yeah.
there. Anybody can come on there,
Yeah.
But yeah, we talk about different topics and social, current events and social issues and things like that. So.
Beautiful. And of course, you talk about things that are happening locally here in the community. Correct?
Yes. Like we trying to do mental health is a big thing.
Yes.
So we recently, a woman who works in the medical field, she said she wanted to come on, and we want to talk about some things like that. And then another friend of mine who's in the entertainment industry, he wants to come on, and another buddy of mine, he was helping people expunge their records.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then he wants to come on eventually. So hopefully in the future we'll try to get those things because I feel like it's good to entertain, but I also want to inform as well. Right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So there's always I believe there's truth in the comedy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
there is.
So we can entertain you, but at the same time give you something that can inform you that you can take with you, and hopefully it'll help better your life to better someone else's life too. So.
Man, that's right. That's right on point. I like hearing that type of stuff because that's the type of content that I like to take in. I love things that make you laugh.
Yeah,
but that teach you at the same time.
Exactly.
That's why I love great comedians like George Carlin and Richard Pryor. Like they telling you something, but you're laughing.
But you're laughing.
Yep,
exactly.
It's the best way to give out information. I know we're getting to that point in the podcast where we are going to wrap up, but I have to do this because, of course, we're going to let you do your shameless plugs and all that good stuff. I got to ask you this other question quickly on podcasting. How do you all do you all look to get guests by communicating, reaching out to people, or do your guests just come to you?
Actually, a little bit of both. Actually, when they find out because I guess maybe I don't do a good enough job of, but if they find out, then they ask, hey, can we come on? And then a few of them we did ask to come on. The first initial ones. And then usually after we asked them to come on, then sometimes you will see them reoccur. Because now by this time they've asked us, hey man, I want to touch on if it's something that they know we interested in. Yeah, can I come back on? So a few people ask, and some of them get inspired to trying to start their own podcast as well. So, so it's a little
things
of both.
To say, man.
Yeah, they want to be heard.
Yeah. And we're getting tired of social media as that forum because it's turned to trash. So people looking for a little bit more professional, a little more respectable, a little more calm and less crazy.
Yeah, that's true. And I think, like I was telling him, I think that it's one of the. I'm not saying it's easy in a sense of. There's always something going on in social media, rather it be entertaining or something serious, like like we did one on the war with in Israel, what I'm saying, with the Hamas and stuff. So there's always things going on. So there's always something to talk about.
There is.
There always some. Even if you're off social media and you put on TV, CNN, MSNBC, even Fox, there's always something.
I tried to miss it this week.
If there's not, they'll make it up.
Yeah,
exactly.
I tried to miss it this week. I couldn't miss it. I mean, I work at an orthopedic office, and so I tried to avoid all the news all week because I knew some crazy stuff was about to happen. Some F-boy stuff was about to pop off. So I tried not to pay attention to it. By the time I got to Thursday, I hate to say it, y'all, because basketball started back. So I'm up here trying to watch LeBron and them play basketball, right? That's all I wanted to do. I know it's all
just a little distraction.
Just a little distraction,
it's a little
right?
pointless stuff that doesn't actually matter but looks really cool.
That's it. That's all I wanted. Boom. This man was shooting people, blah, blah, blah. They're doing this for... I said, what is this? What's going on?
Exactly. And then if you're looking at basketball, now what are you talking about? Dwight Howard.
Yeah, I could not escape it. I could not escape it.
And see, and these things, I don't know. We just have to cover them. You know what I'm saying? We have to cover them. Yeah. Try to give, your own perspective. Not try to... Because everybody got an opinion. It is, So, trying to be respectful, but you're not going to please everyone. You know what I'm saying? If you think that this is for the faint of heart, then this ain't for you. Film or that is not for you. You can't
say that again.
You can't please everyone. It's
not for the faint of heart.
It's not for the faint of heart.
We ain't making like mid-90s sitcoms anymore. That's not something people want to watch.
Exactly. So there's always something going on, man. Yeah. Always.
Man. All right, so just to wrap up, of course, we always like to say, man, as a creative person, because you are a creative, man, how do you stay consistent in creating your short films? Okay. And what current projects are you working on?
Good question.
This is the work-life balance question that we always like to ask about.
Nice. How do I stay creative with the short films? Well, actually, right now, I'm trying to get away from short film. Okay. I'm trying to go into more feature, right? Mm-hmm. So, and that's to segue into what I'm currently working on. I got to send a shout out to Chantel Broughton, who
hooked me up with this. Her birthday was the other day.
I need to hit her up and tell her happy birthday. So, along with myself, I enlist 4 other writers. Okay. So what I want to do, upcoming project, is a anthology. So we have 7. Now these are shorts, but they're compact.
Compile them together, then
it's it's like a feature, right? So it's a short called Ripple. It pertains what Father Time will be narrating, different things that have different stories, but they all are compelling. So we all graduated from film. I got a degree from film school, whatnot. So I enlist 4 other writers, including myself. But I was trying to get Chantel, because she's a grant writer.
Smart.
So I'm trying to get some funding, with the whole Hollywood strike and things like that. So she was saying that, it's hard to find funding right now.
It's kind of dried up.
It's kind of dried up, exactly, yeah. So that's still there. But to go back what you said about Tubi, right?
Yeah. The Tubi tie-in. Tell us how to make money off of free streaming services.
So everyone was hitting me up about, man, you could put something on Tubi. So I have a love for comedy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm currently working on a script right now. Matter of fact, I did some work on it last night. So I'm currently working on a script called a feature film called The Loser. It's about I know, right? But
That's probably dope.
Just stay with me. So it's about a young man who's working. He works in a warehouse. He got his 2 best friends employed there, or whatever. So he loses his job because his friends try to rob the place. He didn't know it, so they cost him his job. So he loses his apartment. So he tries different hustles, from ride sharing and things like that. So he ends up moving back home. Right, and then he realized, like, a lot of things happened to me because of YouTube. So it's a comedy, right?
That's gonna be funny.
But it's gonna be funny. So basically, after some time, he kind of gets his bearing back, and then he kind of overcome that obstacle. So it'll be a message in it as well, but it's a comedy. So that will be the feature. That's the one I'm currently working on.
That.
Yeah, that will be on Tubi.
I'll be looking for it too.
Yeah, that will be on Tubi. That will
Okay.
be on Tubi. So hopefully, we should be able to start some type of production maybe the later part of November.
Okay.
Something like that.
Oh, that's actually upcoming. You're gonna start that.
Yeah.
Do you have a proposed release date? This is always funny to ask.
A proposal, Lisa? No, honestly, I
Keep it open-ended.
Yeah.
Keep it
I don't
open-ended.
have.
Always
a
smart.
So with Tubi, as opposed to some of these other streaming services where they're actually like financing you ahead of time, with Tubi, you just make it and show up with it, or do they?
They have specific standards.
They do have specific standards.
Financing.
No financing. So the same way it's okay. The Tubi platform is similar to, I don't know, y'all familiar with Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Because before Tubi, Amazon Prime had a lot of the
Publishing
the independent films.
Yep.
And
We can put a book on
See,
Amazon
that makes
book
sense.
stuff right
Yeah.
now, and if we
Right.
wanted to record the Audible, it could be up there too.
Exactly. Which, you still have some, even BT Plus have some of those films too, which now I don't know how to get on that platform. You know what I mean? I will say that.
If BT Plus works when you use it.
Right.
My God. I
that's
I be feeling bad because I be trying to like show them solidarity, but I can't use your
some
platform.
things pixelating. Yeah, that's a whole segue in itself. But how their platform works is, so once I do the film, in the same way with Prime, you have to be the marketing. You have to promote it, right?
Oh, I see. Right. Because they're not going to put anything into it.
No, they're not going to put nothing into it. Nope. So with Prime, you only get base paid off streaming. With Tubi, if it streams, they run. That's why I got to be long. They run the commercials.
Ads.
So if it's long enough and you're getting a lot of people streaming it, then there's certain ads to go there, and then you get your percentages that way.
The ad.
Yeah,
So the more views you get, then the better ads they can run in it. So there's actually it's not just like a straight up per view. There's kind of
exactly
interesting.
Yeah, so I would do a whole campaign. Of course, I would do a private viewing at the auditorium.
Yep.
Then have everyone, by that time it may be on Tubi, I'm not sure. But by that time, and then they can all, Q code it and then go straight there. And then I'll do a big social media rollout and stuff.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that works.
Trying to do a big platform. And like,
and
if it's funny, people
are gonna love. They're gonna go and put people because everybody loves comedy.
Exactly. And they're watching everything else on there anyway. So
even the trashy stuff. So look, I hate this. Look, because I'm like,
we got Tubi on the TV at home.
I know. I know. I'm guilty. I be looking for the trash show so I can see it. So look, if you have a good product, it's gonna fly.
It's gonna fly,
and you can tell they do. That Tubi does a good job of letting those good products fly. But you have to drop your social, man. Just let people know how they can find you, where to get your actual content, and etc.
Yeah. If they want to find me and see what I'm, currently what's up and coming, my Instagram, that'd be the best way, is Ivy League. It's I_V_League, which is that's my film production, Ivy League Films. And then, of course, Black Summit Podcast. And we also talk about things that's up and coming on there as well, because my co-host, he's a filmmaker as well. So.
Perfect. So it gives you a way to
exactly. We get to plug things and let other people come on and they plug their things as well. So platform for everybody.
Excellent. Excellent. Well,
we would love to come on. Just to say, we would love to come on your platform.
Yep. That's what I was going to say. Go ahead. Yep. We'd love to be a guest, man.
Oh, really? Y'all would?
Man. Either in person or virtual.
It's a lot of us,
Just 4.
Oh yeah, we'll set it up. Yeah, we'll bring y'all in the studio, man. We have it set up, man. Everything, have everybody all mic'd up and everything.
We definitely gonna stay in contact.
Cross promotion and branding and things.
Yeah, we better.
Yeah,
all right,
definitely.
and we gotta make sure somebody's here so she'll be able to actually.
We'll get y'all in person
because she was actually really pumped to see you today. So that's why we're happy to be able to get her on the phone.
Because Samaya, am I saying it right?
Tamaya.
Oh, Tamaya. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Chantel had texted me and said that she said, "Yeah, we want to shadow you."
Yep.
Because Chantel was telling me that for the longest. So she got to see. I just recently shot a promo video for their app. So, but she was a talent. So she got to see some of what I did. I shot it at their offices. They were skated. A big, you know what I'm saying? So I shot. But she hasn't seen it yet.
She hasn't.
Yeah, I already edited it and everything, and did the graphics, did the color grade, and put the royalty-free music, and had it cut up and everything. So she'll see it Monday.
Ooh.
Yeah, so she'll get to see it Monday. Yeah.
All right, no, I'm gonna be ready because I've been watching the masterclass short films. I've been watching the masterclasses like crazy. So I'm be ready.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I might put y'all to work out because I always can use some PAs now.
Yeah.
See, when y'all see us in the street, we still fanboying over all of the same stuff, and we still trying to figure out how to do what we want to do in this world.
Man.
We are normal humans.
Yep. Long as we help one another and share the information,
that's what matters.
It's sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
Collaboration over competition.
There it is.
We're gonna end it on that one. I like that.
Compete.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here at the Hilltop Glove Podcast. I just want to let you know my name is DJ and what?
This is Mike.
On the phone there we go, and we're here with our esteemed guest today, Konate Hendricks.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm humble. I'm blessed that you guys have me. Much love and success to you guys. And I'll look forward to seeing y'all on the Black Summit one day.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, shoot, we want to sign out today. Just want to let you know, if you have somebody next to you, any family members, etc., please tell them that you love them, that you cherish them. And until the next time on the Hilltop Glove Podcast, peace.
Peace.